Greetings and welcome to another excellent World of Tanks video. This video is super long and it's all good. I don't put filler material in my videos. So what you see is going to be all good stuff. Anything that you know, fast forward through it if you don't want to see it. But I want to warn you up front, this thing is a really long video and I didn't attempt to make it that way. It's just the information came out sequentially and it was so useful, it just kept going and going and going. So bear with it. You're going to find this to be very useful, especially the less experience you have, the more valuable this will be, because the thing that makes it long is recommendations of how to select your tank, how to make your commanders more effective. I present in this video the template for long haul success. Regardless of what type of tank you want to play, you can plug it into my template and make it successful for yourself. Just follow what's going on. So without wasting any more time, hope you enjoy it. Please leave a comment. It'll be greatly appreciated. I look forward to seeing you guys later. I was working on my long haul and it occurred to me I really have never made a video explaining to people who don't know. Possibly those could be experienced players or newer players. So this is kind of a, one size fits all, because whatever info is in here that you don't have, you need to have it, because this is super important if you want to maximize your fun factor of the game. This is primarily one aimed at subscribers or people who wonder, gee, should I subscribe to this guy? Well, one of the reasons why someone would be a subscriber is because I do videos like this that no one else really covers or does it the way that I would do it. As far as I'm aware, I have never seen it. Let's put it that way. So if someone else has done that, fantastic. I just haven't seen it. So you also might want to consider subscribing because of the info like this that you either don't see anywhere else or barely exists, if at all. Now, the long haul. What is the long haul? Well, it's pretty basic. Let's go look here in the challenges. All right, now this is Golden Week. I'm recording this April 24th, 2024 for future reference. And we're not going to worry about Golden Week stuff. That's completely separate. We're going to scroll down here to Long Haul. Long Haul is pretty basic. Place in the top 7 experience earners, win or lose, and it's available to tier 3 and above, including all Cold War. Multiplayer only, no co-ops. So, what you will get when you finish these 75, as you can see right now, I had stopped to make this video after getting 2 of my missions done. Played 2, scored 2. And that will be addressed later as well. Real simple stuff. You complete 75 of these missions where you're scoring top 7 on your team, win or lose. And you can, whoops, there we go. You will get a random prize. That prize will be a war chest that will give you gold. Now, when I was talking to Bernie, he was like, when he did a breakdown on what he received over, I don't know, however long it took him to do the breakdown, his results were approximately 85% will be private chests, which those will have 150 gold. Another 10% approximately was sergeant war chests. Those will have a minimum of 275 gold. The private chest is minimum 150, maximum 400. Sergeant chest maximum, I don't remember what the number is, but it's around 800-ish. But that's just the best of my recollection. And then about 5% of the time, you'll get a General's War Chest. That is a minimum of 425 gold, and a maximum is like 21, 25, something like that. It's quite high. Now, in my long haul experience, I have received each of these types of war chests. In the past, before they changed to war chests, last year, we got top secret, key cards. Blue, black, and red. It's same difference. Blue would be private. Black would be sergeant. Red, which is the top secret, would be general. And all the numbers apply completely the same. Okay, so here's the dealio on the war chests. Or if they change it back to cards in the future, who the heck knows? Doesn't really matter. Each payout of prizes that you would get randomly differs every time the season changes. So right now we're in the tiger season with the Japanese white tiger. When this season changes, if you have a war chest from this season and we get into next season, you'll get next season's prizes. So sometimes you're like, well, I got a chest that I got from a long haul, and this season's going to change in a couple of days. I don't like the prizes there, whatever. I'll just wait and take my chance in the next season. Perfectly legit. Nothing wrong with that. It works. You don't lose them. Whatever works floats your boat. I'm just giving you the info from my own personal experience, as well as learning, etc. So I'm going to show you what was part of another video. I did a classic shorty on long hauls, and I'm going to show you the results of that, just in case you haven't seen it. And if you're watching this from the future, then you don't have to go back and search for it. It's going to be contained in this one video. I'm going to let you see what it's like to get a long haul from the Sergeant's war chest. It's long haul time. Let's see what's inside, shall we? 500 gold and 750 free experience. Like and subscribe. So, I've told you what the long haul is, explained to you essentially how to get it. Now I'm going to show you a couple of quick matches to show you one way that you can do it. Now, the long haul matches I did, the 2 matches, I'm going to show you those games. Those are short games. And this is the secret. Oh, I don't want to do the long haul. 75 scoring missions, blah, blah, blah. Then don't do it. Sayonara. You're going to do these things anyway. That's the thing. The long haul occurs whether you try to do it or not. That's the beauty of the long haul. So the people who say that, oh, I'm not going to do that, blah, 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 you're actually doing it every time you play the game. So the reason I tell you this is because when in doubt, play something that you like to play, that you're good at scoring, and preferably, like the matches I'm going to show you, ones that don't last too long in general. So what I'm going to play here, you are looking at the Cold War Arrow 1 FV101 Scorpion. Now, I'm not saying you should play this specific tank, but I'm giving you the template. Find things that are good for you. Whatever, that could be a sniper. Fine, whatever. Now, you don't really want to do stuff that's not good for you. Okay? Well, now you can do it in things where you're working on getting better at something. to a degree, but only if you're getting better or working on improvement in a vehicle where you could score top 7. So this is Cold War Era 1, which is the bottom end of Cold War. Let me show you where this tank sits on the tech tree, just to give you an idea. All right, this M46A1, that's a free tank. You can literally get this for nothing if you don't have one. The 101 Scorpion is a I'm going to call it Tier 2 Cold War. Tier 1 Cold Wars are free, like the Centurion here. Now the Charioteer was added. It's not a free tank. So the starter tank of this line that contains a Scorpion is the Centurion 2. Now you could decide, hey, I always wanted to get that big head sniper. Hey, well, whatever floats your boat, man. I don't care about that, as you can see. I wanted the Scorpion because I'm a very good light tank player, and I saw this one in battles, and I'm like, man, this thing is a jerk. I need to be a jerk too. So I got one, and, well, jerkhood I attained. I got his bigger brother, the 107, as well. But that's neither here nor there. You can do this in any tank, it doesn't matter. You might be a medium tank guy. Well, the Char 25 is another freebie. So there you go. I mean, it's a pretty good tank, but I am not a medium tank specialist. I am a specialist in light tanks as well as artillery. And yes, I do long hauls in artillery. So I'm just giving you the overview here. Now you can do the same thing as well in the red or the green Cold War if you want to. Type 63I, a little bit more difficult because of the durability. This one has got a lesser armor. So I don't really recommend doing a long haul in this tank specifically, but you can do whatever floats your boat. M50 Sherman, it's a really good one. Another free tank. And this tank is actually surprisingly good. Again, I am not a medium tank specialist, but I could do it in this tank. It would just take longer because I'm not a specialist. So for me, it's not a good use of my time. I might spend, instead of 75 matches to get this, or make the number close to that. You're not going to get a long haul in every match. At least I haven't seen it happen yet. It can happen, obviously, but it'd be very difficult. But instead of, say, 75 matches to get it, it might take 100, 120. And if you enjoy this tank, and it's a very good tank, if you enjoy it, it doesn't matter how long it takes for you to get it. It does matter in the context of you have finite game playing time. You can get this long haul twice on your account in a week, starting Tuesday, ending Monday night. So that's why I suggest you want to play tanks that are faster to finish games with you in a high position. Like the FV-101 Scorpion. For me, this is almost ideal. Okay, so we're going to look at the games now because I give you the general idea. Now, I guess let's look through these tanks for, just a minute or so, and let me give you some heads-up info. Armadillo, that's an Era 2 light tank. Now, this one, I did a long haul with just the Armadillo one time, number one, to see if I could do it, which I did. This happened before they added the missile tanks with the Begleitpanzer and the Marder and the Jagdpanzer 4-5 and the RU-251 light tank. Now it's a little bit harder because those tanks have so much more firepower than the Armadillo. Scorpion 90, also Era 2. It's the Scorpion's bigger brother from Era 2. Very good. the 101 is clearly the choice. It's just the efficiency factor. If we made a chart and charted the way things go, the efficiency factor of the 101 is literally number one in Cold War if you are a light tank specialist in general. Now, you might personally have specific better luck in something else, and you'd be the exception, and more power to you. But I'm saying for the bulk majority, if you're a good light tank player, you can do long hauls. If you want to do what I'm doing in this match, or the matches you're going to see in the 101, I'm not telling you to use that specifically. This is a great tank if you're a rocket specialist. The AMX 13SS. M60AX, very good, and I mean an awesome medium tank. Remember, I'm not a medium tank specialist, and I've got a mark of excellence in this tank. This tank has one advantage, is that this is one of the anti-Weasel tanks. Then, of course, there's the Weasel. And yes, I can do long hauls in the Weasel. So I play Weasel missions for goof-off fun, and I get long hauls. I would say not quite 50% of the time, but I'm getting better. That's the key. Other tanks would be good. Molot 477. I'm okay in this tank. That's not my specialty, but it's a good tank. Bernie plays the heck out of this tank. He's a specialist in sniping, so this worked great for him. He can do long hauls in this tank, but this tank, normally the battles take longer. It's Era 3. The Bandit. If you have one of these and you're a medium tank player, you might be able to pull long hauls in this guy. It's a butt-kicking tank. I'm probably about 20 or 25% long haul efficiency in this tank. So for me, it's not really a good choice to do the long haul. However, it's a fun tank to play. So if my friends were doing something, I go, yeah, I'll goof around and throw in a few bandits, see what happens. Warden, another very good medium tank, kind of fun to play. So not my specialty, and I'm not really that great in long haul performance in this tank. It's hit and miss, so I don't worry about it. A fun tank, again, goofing around with friends, that's fine. Now, I have a lot of other tanks you're not seeing. I'm just showing you kind of the ones that are the top of my list of goofing around on a kind of a daily basis. And we're back to the 101 where we all started. So let's go check out. I got 2 awesome games for you from my long hauls today. And that was like, man, I did the first one, and I had started the second game, and I realized, oh, you dummy, you should have done that video. And it was like, okay, I'll just do it when I'm done. Well, I got done, and that second game was awesome too. So I'm going to show you 2 games instead of just 1. So that was pretty awesome. Let's go check it out. 5 concentrated long haul missions, and then goof off after that 25 for fun. So, and those are usually going to be long haul, but they can be longer matches. So he'll play different things that are not like 5-minute type games. Some that might be 8, 9, 10-minute games for working on specific skills, etc. So that's one of the key things. All you got to do, score 25 long hauls a day. In 3 days, boom, you're done. 1 long haul for free. You'll get a chest, and you never know what shows up in chests. So that's one philosophy, and it makes it simple, because you're like, 25, I can score 25 in a day. That's not hard at all. And his philosophy for that was that he does his 25 business first, goof off second. That's because he has, as a kid, he has restricted time that he can play per day. That's like 4 or 5 hours. And so he's not there to goof around if he can help it. And he can help it because he's planning ahead. Wow, this game is 3 minutes and like 50 seconds long. It's getting close to being over. Now, as you can see on the end of that barrel, I do have the white stripe, which is the first mark of excellence on this tank. And after today's long haul, we'll see how close I get to the second mark of excellence. Yeah, I don't really normally care about that stuff. It just happens when it happens. I don't want to, strain my brain trying to work on this mark of excellence business. Because you never know. You get random teams that are horrible. The key is when you get a horrible team, and you'll get them, don't worry about it. Score with a horrible team. It's a little bit more difficult. But if you could score top 7, even though you might lose the game, you're still scoring a long haul point. And, my friend Fish says, man, as long as I get my long haul, I'm good, brother. That's his philosophy. And we learned the generic stuff about the long haul from Fish. So that's where, a lot of this comes from. Victory! Shazam! Second place, Big Head Sniper. Third place, Big Brother to the 101 is the 107. Here we are at the end of game screen. And now we're going to look at the stats and let me interpret for you what is really pertinent here. Look at the performance on the bottom right. 2 kills, 2,200 damage, 600 assist. So that's what, 87. That's more than enough to get a long haul out of that top 7. Sometimes that will score an MVP, sometimes it won't. It just depends on your team and if anybody else went berserk, which nobody else did. When you have a good team like the team I just had, and a lot of the scoring is kind of balanced across the team, it takes a lesser score to be the top guy. And the reason why that is, when you look at the tech tree of the the Cold War tanks, the 101 Scorpion would sit in tier 2. Tier 1 is the free tank of whatever that would be. Tier 2, in this case, would be the 101. You saw that guy got third place in the 107. 107 is tier 3. He had a really good game, but since he's tier 3, he doesn't get. There's a bonus. There's a experience points that they give you. We'll look at the scoreboard for the team, and you'll see what the scoring is. Essentially, there's a bonus for the tier 3, and then there's a bigger bonus for tier 2, which is a 101, and there's an even bigger bonus that goes to the tier 1s, which are the free tanks, which in this case would be the Centurion 2 in this line, or that Sherman for the green line, or for the red line, there's the T-44A medium tank and the 63I light tank. And there's other ones as well. The Char 25 is a zero cost tier 1. And then there's another one on the top, which is the M46A1, top of the blues. So those are the free tanks that will get maximum bonus. So you'll see sometimes a guy has a good score, like say it has about this kind of score, 2,000 damage in a what do you call it? Char 25. That's a Frenchie tank, autoloader. He'll be MVP because he's got a tier 1 Cold War, starter tank is what they're also called. So when you're in a starter tank, you have a chance like none other if you have a decent game to be MVP without being awesome. So that's just give you some helpful hint. Now also, we have the name your price is going on. So name your price, instead of silver, You can choose silver, you can choose tank XP, which is great if you're working on tech tree advancement, or me, I'm always working on commander advancement, so I chose the commander bonus. That's why with no booster, I pulled 9,000 commander experience. Normally for myself, 4,000 to 5,000 in this tank, which is good because I had just swapped out this commander. I normally run a 9-skill commander in this tank, and I realized I had some 8s that are kind of close, and this guy was one of them. I said, you know what, I'm just going to, well, actually it wasn't this guy, it was a different commander. I swapped out my commander, which was a 1-star in this tank with 9 skills, for a 3-star commander, blue, so that I could trade the skills, the 8 skills from another commander into this guy, but have him earn at a 3-star rate. So clever. So what's happening here is that I get a 30% bonus for this 3-star commander on experience, plus I get a 10% bonus with enhanced rations. So this guy in this tank by itself is 140% over normal, which is 40% bonus. But there's a commander bonus operation going on, so the $4,000 plus that I would normally get, well, is like 9,000 this time. It's like more than double, or right around double. And I didn't run a commander bonus on this one. At least I think that's the case. We'll check in a second. Medals do more damage than your hit points. Knock out modules or crews. Second class badge, pretty good. Get hit by 4 guys, win and survive. I did that. That was good. Confederate is a really good medal. And, you know, normally you say, wow, you damaged 6 guys, but you didn't kill any of them. Yeah, but I damaged 6 guys, and my team killed them. So I got 2 kills. And then 6 more guys that I damaged were killed by my team. I was in on 8 kills. That's what's telling you that you're effective. When you're getting a Confederate medal, it tells you you kicked butt. Now, guys might be, you know, kicking even more butt than you. They might be MVP, 2nd, 3rd place, whatever. You could be 4th, 5th, 6th, whatever. It doesn't matter. But the Confederate medal tells you you were doing quite well. So don't look at it negative. Look at the positive of the Confederate medal. And it doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. Confederate medals usually mean your team wins, but not always. And then this is progress for the 2nd mark of excellence, which occurs at 85%. So let's go check out the scoreboard. Yeah, MVP for me. Now, the scoring, as you can see, is kind of balanced. This is a big head sniper, but he'd be regarded as a level 4, as a tier 4 arrow 1, which is a top tier. He doesn't get a bonus. So my score is a little bit less than his, and I'm MVP. The 3rd place guy, it was the 107. He's in a, tier 3 arrow 1. His score, real solid. 2 kills. 2 kills is solid as all get out. You're like, well, I didn't do that great. I got 2 kills. Hey, man, look at this. 2 kills, 2 kills, 2 kills, 2 kills, 2 kills. 5, the top 5 got 2 kills. Then another guy down there, another big head sniper, he got 2 kills. So 6 guys got 2 kills. That's balanced scoring. That's why my score wasn't that high and I was MVP, because I'm in a tier 2 tank of arrow 1. I get the bonus that the big head tier 4 doesn't get, and that the bigger brother than myself, these 2 guys, the 107s, they're tier 3s. Another big head, tier 4. You see how it's going. So I will tell you that if you suspect it, it's true. The 101 in the hands of a specialist is disproportionately the most likely MVP candidate of all of these. Now, all of these are MVP candidates, these top 5. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Any of these guys could have been MVP. But in that situation, the one you'd wager, if you go, well, one of these 5 guys is going to be MVP, you look at the numbers and said, which one would you wager? The smart guy who knows is going to go. Now, and I'm not saying it just because it's me. This is anyone. you go, well, let's assume they're all good players, which obviously they were. In the hands of good players, if these are your numbers, a big head, a 107, a 107, another big head, and a 101, you put your money on the 101 because that's where the most likely occurrence of the MVP would occur based upon the bonus. And that's what happened. That explains. Let's look at the other team. Now, top 7 scored. These guys all got long haul progress, 1 point. Big hit sniper. T95E3, very good medium tank, scored. Object 165. That was a Russian tank, another solid one. Object 268 sniper, Russian, score. SU-122 Russian sniper, score. 107 and 107. So you're going to see a lot of tanks scoring that, consistently, because these guys are all going to be good in these tanks. Good, sometimes great, okay? But I'm just giving you kind of the template of what to do. So anyway, we go back to the main screen here. Look at the top right. Battle duration, 5 minutes, 1 second. This is an absolute A+ template for how to be a top scorer in long hauls. 5-minute game, playing in a tier 1, so I get a bonus. You get which means you're going to finish higher than normal. For me, top 7 is going to be, like I said, I'll get 75 long hauls in this tank in 85 games or less. Yeah, I would be completely shocked if it took me more than 85 games, or I had a bad luck run, whatever. But it would be shocking because I'm a specialist, and you saw that in this game. I did this, and it was literally a walk in the park. It's not always a walk in the park, but it was this game. So let's go check out the next game. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. I've scientifically experimented with this stuff and came to this conclusion by doing it and going, I need double gold. So it's like, I'm not telling you this as Mr. Know-It-All. I'm telling you, and most of the things that you will hear from myself come from either experimenting, not being sure. Number 2 would be screwing up and not doing it. And number 3, watching somebody else screw up because they didn't do it that way. So it's not always sitting back as Mr. Know-It-All and go, well, you obviously need gold repairs and gold first aid. It's not obvious. We've experimented with these things, and when you get that game, it's a great lesson. So this is the thing. You're always going to be in a position to get a lesson if you pay attention. So when I didn't have gold first aid and gold repair, got the lesson, on different types of tanks and what have you, and that's how I reached the rule is all frontline combat, light, medium, and heavy tanks. You got to have double gold. Doesn't matter how much it costs. It's going to be 10,000 each per game. That's 20 grand. Now, I like to throw in myself, if my commander is not maxed out, I like to throw in enhanced rations. That was a good kill. Because enhanced rations gives you better accuracy. It gives you slightly better crew performance. In fact, the crew performance is exactly the same as the Born Leader. And if your tank can have the fan for ventilation, all 3 of those, Born Leader, fan, and enhanced rations, do exactly the same thing, and you can stack them. So some tanks, I have 3 of those. Born Leader, commander, rations on the tank, and a fan on the tank to give you that crew performance. But in this tank, when my commander is a 9-skill commander and it's a long haul business maker, I don't have the enhanced rations. I don't need it. I have 9 skills on the commander. So I just have it here. I'm not looking for the crew performance. I'm looking for maximizing commander experience, because it's a 10% bonus for having the enhanced rations. So that's one of the key lessons. Now here, we were close, but we were in the vicinity of their base, and I have had a butt-kicking game. And when I'm having a butt-kicking game, which you'll see at the end, it was butt-kicking, and you're only even, I knew instantaneously. I gave them the marking to capture the base, which we did. Now, we had the base well in hand, and I went out to see if I could get some extra damage, which I did. So, I was playing greedy, all right? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you up front, that's what I was doing, violating the advice that I gave everybody else to go to the base, because I saw that there was other guys coming. We'd have three one way or the other. So, this was the rare exception where being the greedy, being the greedy player to get some extra points paid off in my favor. But if you're not an absolute specialist expert in this kind of tank, what I did is highly not recommended, because you're risking potentially losing the game if you don't really know what you're doing. Okay, so as one of my old chemistry professors said, the better you are at doing something, the easier you make it look to the guy watching you. So he was correct about that, and that was the most important lesson I learned from him. Super smart guy, but I wasn't really paying attention to learning chemistry from him. That wisdom that he had was like a kung fu master. So it was really fantastic stuff. And now I'm passing that same wisdom on to you if you choose to use it. A shocker to many people. But once again, I've already told you about the proclivity of the 101 to be MVP. And I had a monster game, made it a lot easier. We're here at the end of game screen. And I did check, and I'm actually running a 2.25 Commander Experience Multiplier bonus. So that explains why I did so well in that last game with a decent score. This one, my score was even better. I mean, it was literally a monster game, as you can see by the numbers. 4 kills, very, very good. 3,500 damage, very, very good. 6,000 assist, that's insane. Okay, and there you go. That is a 9,500 combined total in my 101 Scorpion. So I was the runaway MVP on that game. And it was one of those things that I just knew I was doing well, and I could feel it because my team was good, and so the guys, like I said, were spread out. But let's look at the numbers. Now, I also did well in the money department last game. But this game was even better. 131,000 silver. That's no silver bonus of any kind. That's just straight up. Your damage was so good, you make butt-kicking money. Now, normally I probably make 20,000 plus in this tank. Because remember, I'm a specialist. I'll do better than average. So, I'm not telling you specifically to run this tank or light tanks in general unless you're a specialist. And if you're a specialist, you can run any light tank and you're still going to score. Commander Experience with that 2.25 booster, 24,000. That's an insane amount, but that's because of the name your price operation, and I'm running the Commander Experience version, and Shazam, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this guy all the way up to 1.5 million. Get 9 skill maximum, swap out another 8 skill guy, and continue the same run while this Commander Experience is going on. Because what I'm doing is I'm doing the killing of 2 birds with 1 stone, working on long hauls, working on Commander bonus. And then there's a third one I'm getting, and that's making even more money, okay, on the other one. And also, as you can see, well, actually, you can't see it here. We'll go back to the garage and I'll show it to you. But in this game, I had a decent game, 161 free experience. That's pretty solid. Fire for effect. Again, do more damage than your hit points. Spotter. Spot enemy vehicles, and cause 1,000 damage or more. First class badge, even better than the last game. The mastery badge, Ace, is super difficult in this tank. I do have it, but even the monster game that you just watched, as good as it was, might have been semi-close, but you're going to have nearly 10,000 combined, and you're going to need more damage or more kills or both. Bruiser, knockout modules or enemy crew members. Duelist, kill 2 guys that have caused you personal damage. So it's kind of like a revenge deal. The fighter, you get the fighter medal for killing 4 or 5 guys. If you kill 6, you get the top gun. Just giving you a context there. Super monster game. Remember that last Mark of Excellence progress was 71 something. This is 73.8. It's just nasty. You almost never see it jump that much from game to game. But I had a monster game. Now, and really good that I had a monster game, because top of my team, obviously MVP, because we're winners. The winners get more experience than the losers. But if you're a monster like me in this game, I would probably have been top 3 even if my team lost with that score, because my score was sick. You'll see it from time to time, and a guy has a monster game on the losing team, and he, you can be MVP overall and be on the losing team, but you're going to have an unbelievable game. And it happens very rarely, but it does happen, and I have done it a couple of times. But we had this Char 40, that guy. Now remember, this is the second. The Char 25 is the free tank. That's the tier 1. The Char 40 is tier 2, so he's the same tier bonus level as myself. He had a really good game, but what got him compared to me, I killed 2 more guys. You get bonus points for more kills. Okay, so there's a big difference. I mean, his 3,400 and my 35, that's, right there. He's right with me. He's 100 points behind me. So we're neck and neck there. We're going to call those even on the damage. But I got him because I had 2 more kills and 6,000 more spotting. That's ridiculous. That's why he had a great game, 1186. That was a great score for experience. But mine was god-awful at 1920 because I had a super monster game. Okay? Same thing, the big head sniper who finished in 3rd place had a really good game, 5,000 damage. Let's look at this guy's performance. He fired 7 shots, and, he did 5. That's the Brownie rule. The Brownie rule is take the damage, 5,000, divide it by 1,000. That's how many times you did damage. Well, he did 5 penetrations, and that's what happened. He hit 5 shots. Doesn't sound as impressive, because it isn't. But still, that's a very good game. You get 5,000 in a big head sniper, you're going to be top 3 most of the time. Remember, it's a tier 4 Arrow 1 tank. It's at the top. It doesn't get a bonus. He gets the Char 40 gets the same bonus as I do, and he had a really, really good game. In fact, he's going to be closer to being MVP. If he has this game consistently, he'll get an MVP out of it for sure, eventually, because of his bonus. He really did better than the big head sniper, but some freak in the 101 came by. Oh, that was me. So this is what I'm talking about. It's the bonuses. Anyway, that was really fantastic. So this is another prototypical game. 5 minutes, 17 seconds. The first one was 5 minutes and 1 second. So basically under 6 minutes, I'm like Captain America, baby. I can do this all day. And I'm going to do this and probably get this done today. It just depends on what else is going on. I had to make this video because it was just like an apple waiting to be plucked from the tree. 101 Scorpion, my buddy. All right, now let's look at this commander. Now this is not the normal setup that I use, and I'll show you the normal setup that I use in case you want to replicate it. Most of this is the stuff I would use, but there's a few tweaks. Reload. Born Leader, which is faster reload, better aim. The Born Leader affects your entire crew performance. Your vision gets a little bit further. Your turret rotation goes a little faster. You get a little bit more accuracy. You get a little bit shorter reload time. It's very small, but it's in multiple categories. So that's what's good about it. Your accuracy during rotation would also be better. So this is steady aim. This increases your accuracy, regular plus your accuracy during rotation as well. Snapshot. This one is specifically to increase your accuracy during rotation. This came from a different tank that needs that help. It's not bad on this tank. It's not the thing I normally add on there, but you saw how well it's been working, and I'm starting to think it might be something I need to consider. This is the clutch braking. What this does is it gives you faster hull rotation. You run into a rock and you're trying to rotate and get out of there. Well, you'll go slightly faster. It's not much. It's like 7.5% or something like that. So it makes a little bit of difference, but it's not a huge one. But it's really good in artillery or some snipers that have really slow hull rotation. Useful in that regard. I do use controlled impact on my light tanks to protect myself from being rammed and also to do more ram damage. So there you go. Highly recommended. Fire prevention works tremendously. On the 101, I don't remember, this might be a 20% fire tank. If you have a 20% flame chance, you need to put fire prevention on there, because fire prevention is also improved by Born Leader and by enhanced rations and by the ventilation fan. And then this is armor angling. This is the only defensive item you can put on your armor in a tank that's not a medium or a heavy. Mediums and heavies you can put advanced armor. Everything else, this is it, armor angling. So 5% off. Basically what it gets you, is that every match, it makes you basically one shot more to kill than normal. So if a guy would normally kill your tank in a 2-shot kill, in some cases it won't affect, like 2 big head sniper shots are still going to kill me even though I have armor angling. But most everything else, if it took 2, it would take 3 after this. So for the bulk of your tanks, World War II or Cold War, armor angling, I put it on every tank. It's that good, because it will make a 2-shot kill tank a 3-shot kill, or a 3-shot into a 4-shot most of the time. There will be some exceptions where that doesn't happen, and if that's the case, well, then take that commander out, put it in some other tank, and then put a different commander and save that. We don't want to put something on a tank commander if you're in a tank where it's not effective. But this is effective in almost every tank. But you can put it on a tank and recognize whether it's having that one extra, shot to kill you. If you ever get to a match where you're like 10 HP or less, you're like, oh yeah, that's armor angling right there. It proves it to you at, really, it's probably maybe like 50 HP or less. It's proof that the armor angling saved you. You would have been dead, but you're still alive. Now you might die soon afterwards, or maybe not. That's the difference. If you're still alive, you might be effective. I have won a game where I had 1 hit point left, and that was really hilarious because I was the only guy left on my team, and I got a Kolobanov's medal for that, because there was 8 idiots on the other team and they were all too stupid to go to my base. I went to their base and captured it. So I'm telling you, armor angling works. I got an MVP and a Kolobanov with 1 hit point left in my M3 Lee. That's how good it is. Do with that info what you will. Now I'm going to show you my regular commander so you can see the difference. Okie dokie. Where is that? Right here. Iris. This is my regular 101 Scorpion Commander. This is the same, this is the same, this is the same. The Scorpion has inferior turret rotation, so she has the correct increased rotation rapid aim. Run and gun, helpful on the run somewhat, but I'm not really detecting any real difference. So I might, oh no, I do have that snapshot, so I'll just keep this the way it is. This is maxed out perfect. Armor angling, like I just told you about. Controlled impact, told you about that. Snapshot, this is an increase in turret accuracy during rotation for your turret. And then the 9th skill, the Iron Mace, meaning it will do damage at longer range. It loses less damage over distance. That's what the value of this is, and it's very useful in certain tanks. Now, this is one of the tanks it's really helpful in. So now let's look at this, and let's look at, if you go down here, what is the internal fire? So this tank, I believe, if you look on that, it's on the top left column under horsepower. Internal fire chance is 9.06, and that's revised down. Okay. I'm going to show you the equipment. Speed, and this is the powertrain, also speed, but it's really horsepower. But I count this as speed and speed. Reload time reduction. Now here, it's a kind of an opinion thing. Spall liner for, you know, gives you what, spall liner gives you 50% on ramming and 50% defense on crew. The other thing to put it, this is defensive. The spall liner is defensive. The fan, improved ventilation, I just say fan. The fan is offensive. This is the equivalent of adding a board leader. It's, you know, that's the deal that you're, you know, so it's 50-50. It's in the, you know, I prefer the defensive philosophy, and that last game you saw was really emblematic of the defense. If they don't kill you, you're out there doing damage. Okay? But on the flip side of the coin, and like I said, this is chocolate or vanilla. You can't go wrong. These are both great choices. But I'm preferring chocolate in this case. But the vanilla of having slightly less reload time, slightly improved aim is good. I'm going to show you the actual numbers, and you'll realize that in this case I'm probably doing the right thing. I don't need to improve my aim when you see the numbers of this tank. Aim accuracy on this tank is 0.24. I mean, I consider 0.30 to be the bottom level for sniper accuracy. So this thing is better than sniper accuracy already. 0.23, what is that going to do? Nothing. So, you know, it's diminishing returns. So in the case of diminishing returns, it's like, I don't need the accuracy. What is my reload? My reload is 2.5 seconds, basically. What's it going to be? 2.45? 2.5 seconds? You know, you're getting a negligible improvement at this point. So it's, like I said, it's a 50-50. You can't go wrong. They're both great choices. Now, one of the things that would happen if I switched it out and got rid of spall liner and got the fan is that fire chance would drop even further. I think this tank was a 15%, and it gets once you have the fire prevention, then, well, we can see, watch this. So I'm going to go show you one of the secrets. I'm going to take off this, and it'll force the numbers to change by taking off or putting on enhanced rations. It forces recalibration in front of your eyes so you can see it. So this one went back up to 9.56. The reload went from 2.55 to 2.69. So you're seeing that. The turret rotation also went down. That number is lower now. So this will give you the exact information. Accuracy during rotation, that number increased also slightly. This is what Enhanced Rations does for you. And we're going to look at it. We're going to put it back in. We're going to come back, look at enhanced internal fire chances, turret rotation, accuracy during rotation, reload time, just to show you. And also the accuracy went up from 0.24 to 0.26. Those will all come, those numbers will be improved either higher or lower depending on, how you measure those by re-adding, oops, not that, this one, Enhanced Rations. So let's go back. Bada boom, bada bing. Turret rotation went from 39 and change to 41 and change. Accuracy during rotation decreased. That number goes down, meaning it's more accurate. 0.38. Reload time went from 2.69 to 2.55. Accuracy went down from 0.26 off to 0.24 off. So the accuracy number, if the accuracy was perfect, it'd be 0.00. That's maximum accuracy, but it never happens. I have seen it get down to like 0.13 on certain tanks. That M60AX, that number gets low. It is a butt kicker. And also the internal fire chance dropped from 9.5 to 9.06. So these are things that change, and this shows you the value of spending $10,000 a game for Enhanced Rations. If you didn't know this before, well, congratulations, you got another free lesson. And that's the thing. I explain all this crud to people where other people may not have explained it, and so you understand. You're like, wow, dude, this really makes a huge difference in certain tanks. That's why even on a Tech Tree tank with no silver bonus, which is what this is, this tank has no silver bonus. Without any silver bonus, how much silver did I make? It was like 130 grand. Yes, 131,000 silver in this tank. Now, I'll give you a quickie bonus lesson here. The first match I played today was, I played one 38H Commander booster match. I'll just show you the whole thing instead of just telling you from memory. The 38H is a tremendous Commander booster tank, but it's horrible on money. It's a money loser. I run straight premium. That way every shot penetrates, because when I get shoved in a tier 3 match, only the premiums will penetrate a tier 3 tank. This is a tier 2. So this is no good for long hauls. You can't use the 38H for long hauls. You used to be able to, man, and it was awesome. I learned from Fish, man. Fish and I would run 38Hs. That's how I got to be so good at 38H. I played 38H missions with Fish, and he was awesome at the 38H, and I just siphoned that knowledge from his brain into my own brain. And we used to run those missions together, making god-awful commander points and long hauls at the same time. Losing money like nobody's business, but I don't care, because I would come to Cold War and run 101 Scorpion or my Armadillo, just make it all back. It doesn't matter. In the 38H, I use it to make commander points, because look at this. Now this one has a ×4 commander bonus on it, and so 43,000 is a nasty score. But I was in a tier 3 match here. 3 kills, 1,500 damage. That's wicked. But I lose money. So I lost 30 grand on this match. Made 130 grand on my one game. Now that was the monster game. But still, in one game, I got the 30 grand I lost plus another 100. Now it's not typical to make 130,000. Typical is 30, 40,000 really. So I don't worry about it. Pay attention. If you're doing the silver operation to make silver, you can do stuff like this. Last operation, or 2 weeks ago, whatever. I was thinking it was 2 weeks ago. Silver with interest. I made a ton of money in silver with interest because I was specifically building up a stash to make me immune to worried about losing money. If you look at my upper right hand corner, you'll see I have 66 million. I made about 40 million or 45 million in silver with interest because I was hoarding silver boosters, and when silver with interest came in, I was using silver boosters every match. So I built up a nasty stash because I had not been playing a lot of 101 Scorpion because I goof around and just I float from one thing to another. I'm interested in one tank this week, and I might be interested in another tank next week. I don't want to be at the mercy of the game. Oh, I need to make money, so I got to play certain tanks that only make money. Well, maybe I don't feel like playing those tanks. Okay? So I want to free myself. I want to be free to make silver whenever I feel like it, or just play whatever happens. And one of the things that makes silver for me is the Scorpion. Also, the Armadillo makes silver because it has a silver bonus. Also, my artillery is another long haul. I'm going to mention. I mentioned it before. I'm going to show it to you. Okay, this is another exception for long hauls. Most people don't do this. You need to be a specialist to pull this off. This is a long haul money maker for me like nobody's business. Why is that, you might ask? Well, let's take a look and see. If you scroll down to the very bottom of a premium tank, you'll see premium bonus, bottom left-hand corner. Silver bonus 181. Well, you may not know exactly what that means until I tell you, but that number is the highest in the game. Silver bonus, what it means is, and a lot of people don't know this, I was talking to a friend of mine who plays this tank also, and he's like, man, yeah, it's awesome. He goes, it has 181 silver bonus. I go, well, not exactly. The number is intentionally confusing. There was another tank he was using, and I said, what's the silver bonus on that tank? He was like, oh, it's 100. He goes, that's good. I go, no, that means it's normal. That's zero bonus. The 100 means, this is a math thing, okay? What that 181 means is really it's 1.81 multiplier times your silver. So if you have a 100, it's really not 100, it's a percentage. So 100% is 1. It's a multiplier of 1. So it says silver bonus of 100 to trick people who are not mathematically tuned in to think they're getting a bonus when they're not. The 100 is just plain Jane. The 38/8 that I lose money in, that's a 100 silver bonus, quote unquote. It's not really a bonus. It doesn't get bonus silver. The Sexton artillery you're looking at is a 181 or a 1.81 multiplier. So to keep this simple, if I earn 10,000 silver, the multiplier of this one would make that 10,000 into 18,100. And now you see it's almost double. 200 would be double. Now, there's no tank with a 200 unmodified bonus. So the Sexton is a great money maker if you score. And spoiler alert, it's my number one used artillery because I score. I'm an expert specialist of this tank. And that's the key. So again, be a specialist, realize what you're best at. It might be a sniper, it might be a medium tank, it might be a heavy tank. It doesn't matter what it is. The template I produce for you is not be a light tank player, which I showed you, or be an artillery guy like I'm showing you now. I'm showing you my specialties. Okay? So this is the things that I excel in. Find what you excel in and go for that. I mean, I'm a good player in a lot of other tanks where I'm not a specialist, but I'm not good enough to be a long haul exclusive player. I can't just go run around and play Astron Rex for long hauls. I can. It would take forever, And I don't know if I could make 2 long hauls in the Astron Rex in a week. It's a tier 8, it's difficult. Now I do well in this tank, but as a tier 8, I'm going to face tier 9s and tier 10s, and that's not long haul friendly. So I don't do that. I play this as a fun tank. If I have a great game, great, which I have had great games. If I have a not so great game, that's no problem, because I'm not doing this for business. This is for fun. And that's the difference. Separate your business from your fun. Another one that's really good for long hauls, absolutely tremendous, is the Thresher. It's a machine for long hauls. However, it's a mercenary tank, not a premium. It has a 0 silver bonus. Really, if it had a silver bonus, it would be like the 38H. It would have 100. That's what it would be if it had one. It doesn't have one. If you don't have one, like all the mercenary tank contract tanks, they're all 100 silver bonus. It means you get just a regular amount. This is a money losing tank for myself as well. But I don't play this for the money. You know what I play for money, Cold War. I play this for effect. And I've done, Thresher, what do you call it? Long hauls. If I'm running with someone who's running artillery, then I'll run a Thresher, because a Thresher is an awesome defensive unit. So I can protect my artillery and score and still make a long haul if I'm in this. Bernie will do the same thing for myself if I'm running artillery. I have Bernie, I've had Fish, I've had Brownie. Those guys will run Threshers because it's a machine and we're in business. Long haul's a business. But if you do it the right way, long haul's not just a business, it's also fun. So for myself, Thresher is a business tank, but it's also fun. That's why I'm Captain America, baby. I can do this all day. Now, I'll lose a ton of money. I'll have to go make it back elsewhere. It's fine, no problem. But when duty calls and necessity dictates, well, you need to run a Thresher, I'm running Thresher. So, don't confine yourself in a way that's not fun. And also don't be greedy. Don't think, hey, you know what, I'm going to play this, I'm an artillery specialist, I'm going to run this Russian 212 artillery tier 9 and make long hauls. No, you're not. Those games last extra long, 8 minutes plus. You may or may not make a long haul, and you spent 8 minutes plus maybe making or not making it. It's not a fun tank to play, even for me as a specialist. And this is a goof-off project that I've been working on since year one. That now I'm, several months ago I got the 212 tier 9. I haven't even, done much to advance it. I'm not worried about it. Doesn't mean anything to me. I already have 2 tier 10 artilleries. I'm not worried. Su-76, another very good long haul tank. If you're a sniper and you don't have the Su-76, I would suggest you look into it. Now, this is a premium model. There's another one, the Su-76M Tech Tree. So if you don't know, go try the Tech Tree version first and go, ooh, okay, maybe this premium one is very good. It has a silver bonus, which is helpful. Silver bonus only 20% above normal. That's the key. Tank XP 60% above normal. But this is a great performance tank. My personal record for kills in a game in this tank is 8. Some people have 9, some have 10. I have 8, good enough. The fact that you have 8 tells people that, oh man, this is actually good. And it is. This is good solid armor. Doesn't have a turret. That's a fixed turret. It doesn't rotate at all. That's its only weakness. Very solid tank. So another one, I'm good enough to run Churchill 3 long hauls, but my other ones are more efficient. I could get it in this This is a really good tank, and it's a good tank for me to play. It's just not fast. You know, generally the matches will be slower, and I'll be less effective, but still very good. Here's another great tank. T-34-88. That gun makes it dangerous even to tier 8 tanks, even though it's a tier 6. So this is another very good. If you're a medium expert and you don't have this, you need to pick one up when you find one for dirt cheap. It goes on sale, you know, commonly every year. So if you don't have it, wait for it to go on sale, then snag one. Butt kicking medium tank, even for me, a non-medium expert. A32, great long haul tank. Why is this great? Well, look at the speed on the right hand side. Maximum speed. I've got this dude maxed out to go 80. Now it's got a low accuracy gun. The minimum accuracy number, you can drop it to 0.35. It's technically a medium, which means you can put advanced armor on it. However, it really plays like a light tank. So now you know why I give this the double thumbs up, because you've seen me in light tanks. This is a light tank with extra armor. Now the gun isn't that accurate, but it's so fast and agile, you can live with it. Super fantastic tank. You know, not a great medium tank player's tank. Now if you're a medium tank specialist and also are good or very good in light tanks, you'll do fine. But the gun is not very accurate, and it's not a slow maneuvering, you know, sniper precision shot tank. It's not a precision shot tank. This is abuse them with speed and agility. And oh, by the way, you have medium armor and a medium power gun. At tier 4, it's an absolute beast. So use at your own, you know, risk. It can be awesome. You know, I did really good. I have like a 8 kill max, and this fish has a 10 kill max. So just giving you an idea. He's even better with it than I am. For myself, sniper, this is another butt kicker. Yes, I have run long hauls in my Marder 38T. If this floats your boat, it's an awesome tank. If you don't like it, it can be a little loose. The gun would feel a little loose. To me, it's got more flexibility in motion left to right. Some people would say it's too floppy left to right. It's one of those things. It's chocolate or vanilla. It either appeals to you or it doesn't. Tech tree tank, dirt cheap. If you configure it with the right ammo selection, some premium, about a third, you can make money in this tank. All right, so that's really good. Panzer 3J, really great tank. Configure it as you will, whatever. Very useful, highly excellent for long hauls. So that pretty much covers, you know, I think what you need to really know about long hauls. So it would help me, of course, if you could leave a like for this video to help spread the word. Tell your friends, because if they don't know this will be invaluable to them. Invaluable is one of those words that sounds bad but is actually good. So it's super useful. Then they'll have a chance to possibly like and subscribe as well. That's the thing. This is the stuff that sets you up to the next level. If you don't know this, you'll score like nobody's business. Oh yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that sergeant's chest that I showed you, which is really funny because here in the video of recording, I will put that in the editing part. So technically it's not in the video until after I stop talking and go edit it. So I'm telling you now that I put it in here, even though you'll see that to be the case, but I haven't done it yet. So it's a funny thing. Funny, ironic. So I hope you learned something. That's the main goal here, to advance your knowledge and give you powers that you didn't realize you had access to. So what else? I think that's pretty much it. We covered all this long haul business. Got the long haul video attachment. I gave you info on other tanks, so I gave you the whole template of how to set up your long hauls for butt kicking. Oh yeah, if you have a question, leave a question. Either I will answer it myself or one of my other subscribers will answer it, because these guys, they know what's going on. Someone will answer you quickly. Mostly it's me, but sometimes it isn't. But I'll still answer it anyway, because all these guys that they're subscribers, they know stuff. And this is the thing. You may or may not know this, I don't know, but I'm going to mention it in case you don't know it. If you do, that's already great. But the dudes around here, they know stuff. Nobody knows everything. And nobody remembers everything. So you ask a question, someone comes in like Brownie. He's an expert on all kinds of stuff in this game. He'll answer the question. Or there's a bunch of other guys. Bernie will do it. Ian comments on a lot of videos. All these guys have a different perspective. And the beauty is that they all know something slightly different than the other guys. Most of the knowledge we have is commonly shared, but everybody has their own perspective. That's why I say it's a chocolate, vanilla kind of a situation. Sometimes you choose chocolate, sometimes you choose vanilla, sometimes you choose strawberry, sometimes you might choose blueberry. Okay? There's all kinds of opportunities to learn. There's no such thing as a stupid question. If you don't know, ask the question. Because generally speaking, the answer is going to make you stronger. It's not like no one's ever asked the question, for example, "Hey Duke, what's a long haul?" It's a legitimate question. It was really funny. This is one of those things, if you made it this far, you're a freak like me. So welcome to the club. But one of the tanks I got, in fact, I'm going to show you this tank. Let's go and get it. I got from a long haul. I didn't even know it existed. And it was really funny. Tanks. Okay, here we go. Russian tank here. This was the first long haul tank I got, and I was completely clueless. But I'll give you the breakdown of basically how it happened. There we go. Now, this was several years ago, and it was a card, not a war chest. Same difference. It doesn't matter. And so I was looking, periodically, and this was back when Tier 2 qualified. So back then, and this is before I met Fish and Wrongway. Okay? This is a bonus story that's really awesome. This is what happens when fortune smiles upon you. Okay, I was playing Tier 2's Panzerjäger 1, which is Panzerjäger 1. Tier 2 German sniper. That's my favorite tank. It was just a fun tank to play, and I would just play that. I'm like, I don't care about that other stuff. I played by myself. So I played them in a match, and one day, and then I was just playing matches, and I met him again. I'm like, and I was like, I saw him a third time. I go, look, you guys are doing this. I'm doing. We can do this together. And they were on the enemy team, and I killed them twice. Okay, I beat them twice because they were running long haul missions in combat cars. I didn't know what those were. They were like, okay, cool. So I joined in with them, and I learned about the whole thing of long hauls. Basically, what you're getting in this video, I learned from them. And okay. And that explains something. Well, I was doing long hauls without realizing I was doing it, and I did it, enough, in 1 week, sometime where I got cards I didn't even know, and I was in my thing checking on some stats over here, and I was like, and I saw this thing, and instead of war chest, it said, top secret card. Key cards. I'm like, and it had a star on it, and I'm like, what the hell does that mean? So I clicked on it, and instead of chests, it was cards. Anyway, what it was, in this case, was a top secret red key card is what I had. I go, I don't know what this is. I don't know how I got it. Okay, I opened it. Not having a clue what was going on, I didn't record it because I didn't have a clue. This is before I met Fish and Wrongway, before they explained it all to me like I'm explaining it to you. I busted it open and I got this Tier 8 premium Russian sniper tank, the HMH 130, ISU. I'm like, okay, I took this out and like, dude, this thing is a butt kicker. It's really good. And it was like, this was the first tank I ever got out of a long haul. But I didn't realize, number one, I had done the long haul by playing my matches for fun. I was following my own template without even realizing it because that template didn't exist. I was just playing for fun, scoring 3 to 5-minute games as a general rule on average. Some 7s would happen. Okay. So I was following the template I'm giving you without realizing it because I'm just playing for fun. No idea that there's such a thing as a long haul giveaway, what have you. So that is the dealio. The success of the things I have told you in this video are so successful that I got this. This is like a 12,500 gold value tank. I got it for free, and it's actually good because it hits like a hammer. Damage 490 regular, 570 premium. So this is it. What I'm telling you works. I showed you my games, obviously, but this is the prize that I got without realizing it. I was like, dude, that was awesome. So thanks for watching the video. As always, if you subscribe, so much the better. You're realizing that there's things here that you didn't recognize were going to happen. So it was a pleasure to have you guys watch the video. This one was way longer than normal and way longer than anticipated, but it's all gold. I don't do filler material. And in fact, the examples of my anti-filler material videos, classic shorties. So that is the deal. So basically we're done. I look forward to seeing you guys again real soon. See you later.